Most trailers try to balance comfort and capability. This one refuses to choose. Meet the newest addition to the Peak Mtn Camp lineup, the biggest and most advanced and most expensive trailer we've ever built. This is the model that pushes beyond year-round capable and into something entirely new. Designed for the people who don't wait around for perfect weather, who don't back down from tough conditions, and who call the outdoors home no matter the season. From freezing winter storms to high desert heat, this trailer isn't just built to handle it, it's built to excel in it. In today's walkthrough, you'll see exactly what sets this model apart. A full-time living layout built for daily comfort, not weekend compromises. Heavy-duty construction engineered for true four-season performance. Premium details and upgrades that make off-grid life feel like luxury. If you're looking for the ultimate all-season, go-anywhere, live-anywhere trailer, this is Peak Mtn Camps at its peak. All right, guys, I know there's been a lot of anticipation to see this camp. Many of you have come to our facility here, been able to walk through this as it's been in different stages of construction. But it's finally finished and we're finally ready to show it off to you. So this one is an X46, so 46 feet from the bumper to the front of the gooseneck. Yes, I said gooseneck. This one's on a gooseneck frame, which isn't new. We've built goosenecks before, but this is by far the biggest one that we've built. So heavy duty frame, all of our frames, whether it's gooseneck, bumper pole, even if you wanted to do a fifth wheel, they're all specifically engineered for the layout, the weight characteristics, all of those things of your camp. Because at the end of the day, this thing's got to pull good. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how well it's built or anything. If you can't haul it down the road and you can't enjoy that experience, you're probably not going to like the product at all. And so we do. Every frame is specifically built to your trailer. So axle placement, tongue weight, all of those different things are all taken into consideration when we build a camp, making them pull better than anything that I've ever pulled before. So that is, I mean, a lot of peace of mind there, knowing that you're not just getting some RV that's on some generic frame that, you know, you don't know whether it's going to pull good or not. And chances are it's probably not the trailer designed for that frame. So we don't go about it that way. Like I say, every one of these is custom built for you to be able to go enjoy and last a lifetime. So we'll start just up here in the front. This is all adjustable on the gooseneck. You've got your adjustable gooseneck sleeve, all your gussets and everything. It does have the heavy duty jack set up. This one's got the electric jack also, so you can still hand crank this one. It's got your spot here where you can hand crank it, but then it's got the motor as well, to where it's just a matter of hitting the button and being able to lower that and raise it and do what you need to do there. Little storage up here in the front, tire chocks, whatever you want to put up there. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to do some little doors on this so that you can keep everything stored in there and not have to worry about it. But as we come over here to the side, this one does have the deck on the front. They wanted to maintain that front door. You've probably seen, those of you that have watched the channel for a while have probably seen that we've built side door camps. I've got one in the shop being built right now that should be coming up here in the next week or two on the channel, so watch for that. But they wanted to maintain that, and so we were able to incorporate the steps to fold up in. You've got your little handrail here that'll fold up over them when they're stored away. And then as far as these decks, this decking comes in 12-inch pieces. So really, we could do the decks whatever you wanted. This one, as you can see, is just a 4-foot deck. We can do them to where you can load ATVs up on them, do ramps underneath them. We can do all sorts of stuff that way. So whatever you want to do up here, this makes for a nice porch. You can clean your shoes and everything off before you go inside your trailer. Like your side door, the one thing that I've always hated about a lot of the RVs and things is when they have this style step, you're folding that up inside the trailer and it gets dirt and crap everywhere. And so I've never been a fan of that. So I do like the way that this one's set up to where you're not getting all of that inside your trailer. Two 7-gallon, 30-pound propane tanks. This one does have the soft cover over them. What that's going to do is that's going to just protect your pigtails and your regulator and everything from rotting in the sun. We couldn't do the hard cover on these ones just because you have this rail up above, but that should do what we need it to do. Nice little porch area. As you can see, we've got our e-bikes up here. Keep it, you know, up off so we don't have to worry about someone stealing it or anything. This one is wired with an outlet to where you can charge stuff, cook, do different things. We've done some that have the little gas hookups to where, yeah, you could put your smoker out here, barbecue, whatever, and do whatever you want to do out here. Set your camp chairs up. But this is the Hovsco GTRS, the Evo. Those of you that have watched the channel, we've used these Hovsco bikes forever. They're awesome little bikes to run around. This one is their new model that they just came out with. Super cool bike. I've actually got a secondary battery for it that'll go here. I can go 120 miles on that bad boy. So granted, I probably had never had to charge it. I mean, but it is nice to run around the campgrounds, run around the hills, do all of that stuff. I find that I use that thing a ton. So if you're interested in that, look them up. I'll have some information in the description, tell you a little more about them. Speaking of the e-bikes, I also have another product that I want to briefly show you because I'm pretty excited about these things, especially with the e-bikes and different things, and then questions that we get asked. There's been a lot of questions about generators, what we recommend and everything. I think this is going to answer that question. So let me show you that. Check this thing out. This is Bluetti's new solar generator. This is the Elite 400. We use this thing everywhere. From the time that we've got it, when I unboxed this thing, I thought, wow, this is actually a really good product. Well built, solid, heavy duty. I don't worry about taking this anywhere. It's been in the back of my truck. It's been in our camps. It's been all over the place. We use it all the time for a number of different things. Some of the things that I like the most about this, as you can see, this thing has tons of capacity. 2,600 watts, 3840 watt hours. This thing, and that might not mean anything to some of you, but what that means to me is how long it can last. Just to give you an example, real world, I had this on our smoking some chicken the other day, and I don't know, I'd probably smoked for about an hour. I come out and checked it, and my battery voltage was at about 97%. Just incredible how long this thing lasts. I can plug it into the camp and turn the air conditioner on, the fridge on AC, all the lights on and everything, and it'll tell me that it'll run that for about 15 hours. That's pretty impressive. So the numbers don't mean a lot to me. I really want to see what it'll do in real world, and that's what we've done here. I've charged e-bikes with it. I've hauled it all over the place, mobile repairs, different things that way where I don't want to pack a generator. That's the other nice thing is you saw me wheel this thing in. It's got the pull-up handle with wheels, so hauling it around makes it nice and easy. So very convenient to move around. And then as far as charging it, in the time that I've had it, I've used it and I've charged it one time. And I couldn't believe that within an hour, it was up to 80%. And yeah, it was 60, 70 minutes. It was right around there. So pretty cool. And then also, we use it when I'm not using it for mobile stuff or in the camps or anything. We use it here at the shop as our battery backup because it has UPS 0 interruptions, which means it's a 15 millisecond switch over time. So when the power goes out here, which unfortunately it does frequently for some reason, we don't lose all of the work on our computers, our security cameras, our Wi-Fi, all of that stuff continues to stay powered. So it's very energy efficient. It only uses 3 watts in standby consumption with the smart management. So it extends the lifespan of it. And then it also has a smart control that you can use with any of the apps on either your Apple or your Android. There's an app for it that's simple. You can control everything from there. So anyways, this has been a game changer. I've never been a fan of generators. I hate listening to them. So this is really nice. I mean, a lot of times I tell customers, yeah, get a generator or whatever. That way, if you ever did deplete your batteries, you could always charge them up. But I find I take this thing now. It's a game changer. So if you have any questions about it, leave them in the comments. I'll leave some information for it and a discount code to where you can get on and get you one for yourself. So hopefully that answered a bunch of questions about generators and stuff. I think I'm converted to going that direction. I don't have to worry about hauling gas or anything. It's just a matter of charging that thing up. And the way that this camp's set up, I could even charge it off of my batteries with the inverter in this one. So super cool. I'm a fan. So this one does have all of your cameras. So turn signal cameras on both sides. It's got a backup camera. It's got the wainscot down the side, so that diamond plate gives it a really sharp look, and really it's not adding really any more to the camp if that's something that you want to do. So it does have the heated tanks. Now this one does have two separate tank setups. So you've got front tanks and then you've got rear tanks as well. And we'll get into that when we go in the interior and kind of show you the around. But just for those of you that haven't watched the channel, those are insulated and there's electric heat in them. And then there's also heat ducted in from your forced air furnace and also from the wood burning stove. So kind of cool that way, which, like I said in the introduction, makes this probably the most capable 4-season trailer out there. So you've got your outside shower. It's got a quick connect set up to where you just plug your hose in your sprayer and you can do that. This is your wood box door. This feeds all the way through to the inside. So as you can see, I've got a couple pieces of wood. That's about the size of the stuff we burn in the wood stove. Heats it up really quick, really nice. So as you can see, you've got that door on the inside. Put all of your wood in here, your kindling, everything. You don't have to pack all that stuff through your trailer, getting everything dirty. And then also a nice thing that I like to do is I keep my ash bucket in here to where once I clean that stove out or whatever, I can put all of my ash and stuff in that bucket. And then the next time I'm outside, I can grab it from outside, clean it out, do what I need to do there, and I don't make a lot of mess. So these are all locking latches. These are double sealing doors, so you can see you've got a bulb seal on the inside, and then you've got a seal along this lip as well. And then you can adjust that tension on these to however you want it. And then, like I say, they are lockable. This is your fresh air intake for the wood burning stove. So these trailers are sealed incredibly tight. So there's not a lot of air movement in there. And so when you start a wood burning stove, it's got to get air from somewhere. It gets air from the outside, is capable of pulling that air in. Doesn't deplete your oxygen storage on the inside. There's a screen in there, if you can see it. Keeps all the insects and stuff from getting in there. You have another AC outlet. And then this one has under storage boxes as well. You can do these on any of the camps. That's not a big deal to add those to any camp. Your Starlink setup. So this is an RJ45 connection. So not necessarily just for Starlink. Most your internet setups can use that. You've got your coax for an antenna if you want to do something that way. These are 7,200 pound axles on this one. 14 ply tires. These are 8 lug, triple axle. And then you have more storage doors for outside storage. This one's got their sewer hoses in it. You've got your 3,000 watt pure sine inverter in it. And in the back one, we have our battery bank. So this one has 8 AGM batteries. These are 220 amp hour batteries. So as I mentioned with that little solar generator, if you ever got to where these drop down, which they're all, you've got your solar and everything, so which you're probably not going to be able to see it here. but it'll give you all of your readings and everything. Battery disconnect, a little fuse panel for different things back there, but everything's nice and stored away. These are, as I mentioned, AGM, so they're sealed so they don't off gas or anything. Your water heater, and then this is just an access door to winterize, so a couple ball valves in there that you turn, drain it, and you're good to go. Egress window. This does have lights, exterior lights all the way around, and they are on dimmer switches to where you can dim them down. Your stove pipe for your wood stove. Does have the air conditioner up there. Vent fan for the bathroom. Then you've got a 100-watt solar panel there. Your heated tank enclosure in the back. Your spare tire, stabilizer jacks. Then on the back, this one has the 3 receiver setup. Now this is nice just because it gives you lots of options. Whether you put, bike racks back here, if you're allowed in your state, or however you're set up to pull doubles, you can do that. You're gonna wanna look into that as far as what you're able to do where you live. But you got 2 more 100-watt solar panels back here. You've got your backup light, as well as your backup camera. These are all DOT compliant, as well as in Canada with all the marker lights. It is set up with your 7-way plug. So, and that's got some sawdust in it, but it also it's wired for trailer brakes and power and everything that way, to where if you are able to pull doubles, it's set up for that as well. On this side, you have your water fills, so your city water connections, and then it's got 2 freshwater tanks, so you've got a fill for both of those. Waste gates that are all heated, and then this is all open storage on this side, so all open through. These do have lights in them as well. Windows. This one has an extra storage box. This would be similar to that wood box on the other side, but this feeds through to the inside. So just giving them a little more storage on the exterior. Another AC plug, and then this is your 30 amp service, so you can plug in. These are set up for shore power, as well as all of your water hookups and everything, to where if you were in campgrounds, great, it's set up that way. But it's also set up to where if you're boondocking, great, that's what it's set up to do. So gives you a lot of versatility as far as what you can do. These are just your fridge vents. But I think that wraps up the exterior enough to where we can get to what you really want to see, and that is the interior. So let's go ahead, climb in, and show you what we have going on. Let's climb up in this thing and see what we're working with here. So first thing, I didn't mention this on the exterior. This does have the Dutch door, which means split half and bottom. So you can open that up. This is really nice, especially if you're in pretty country, you've got lawn chairs or whatever out here, be able to open that up and see what's going on outside. Latch that back up and we'll go in. All right, guys, the moment you've all been waiting for. So, unique layout in this one, and I think that there's going to be some features that you're really going to like. So, we'll go through everything. I'm just going to run through some specs real quick with you. As I mentioned on the exterior, at least I hope I got the weight right. This one weighed in at 15,000 pounds. It's 46 feet total length. And then this box, or the living space, is 33 feet, just over 33 feet. It's 8 foot wide, 96-inch interior, 102-inch exterior, which is legal width. And then I've had some comments lately that have wondered what the height of this is, interior. You're 7.5 feet tall interior. So even for you big guys, it's pretty spacious. So we'll go through some colors really quick. The colors that they've chose in this camp. On the walls, you've got an antique bourbon pine. The countertops are a winter carnival. Cabinet color is a Brazil wood over knotty alder. And then the flooring is a heritage buckskin. So that'll give you kind of the specs, some of the things that they've chose. Now we'll just go through some of the features in this one. Like I say, I think that you're gonna like the way that this one lays out. So up in the front, you can see tons of counter space, tons of cooking area, cleaning area, all that fun stuff. We have these that are pretty highly sought after. These are our pull-out pantries. So, and normally on our videos, when I go through all this, I talk about the cabinetry. Most of them are gonna have a closet up here in the front. So I talk a little bit about it, but what this is all 3/4 inch alder. So depending on what colors you get and everything, we're able to match all of that on an alder. This one's the knotty alder, so it's got some character in it. If you go with some of the other colors, paints, anything like that, pigmented lacquer, we can do just standard alder, so you won't have a lot of this stuff in it. But it's all household hardware. They picked their own poles and knobs for this. But you've got your 4 pantries here in the front. Turn that the wrong way. So you have 4 pantries there in the front. You've got 2 up high and then 2 down low. These are on latching drawer slides. So, and we can do the spacing on all of the pantries however you want it, as far as the shelves, the rods, anything. If you're doing spices, you're probably going to want a lower rod or 2 rods. We can do all of that stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to let Dave know when you're speccing out your camp. You've got your overhead storage up here. All of our hinges on these are all soft close hinges. So nicer than what's in my house. But that's the thing. We want these things to last. And in order for them to last, we have to use good quality products, good quality materials. And that's what we're all about here at Peak Mountain Camps. You do have your microwave in here. You can do the built-in microwaves. These people wanted theirs to where it was stored behind. They also wanted to elevate their fridge. And so as you can see, this one's been raised up. The furnace is sitting below it. And so it keeps that up off the ground to where when you're getting in this thing, you don't have to bend down. I like that about it. Now, that being said, if you were to do like the built-in microwave that has the finish surround, you're going to have to do either a lower microwave, or you're going to have to find, or a lower fridge, or you're going to have to find a different spot because of the contour of the roof. So just keep that in mind. This is a 2-way fridge. So it'll run off AC and propane. And this particular camp, I know I showed you the Bluetti power center. You could run that off this one. This one does have an inverter in it to where we could run the fridge. Like what I would use this for is mainly for like the microwave, things like that. I wouldn't necessarily run my fridge and stuff off of it. I would run it off of propane, but you do have that option. So then as we move up towards the back a little bit more, you have your propane light. It's just got a little dimmer, so it's got a mantle. It's a lot like the Coleman lanterns. You can kind of dim it down, but I love this little thing. This is a popular option for people. I like it for the fact that it gives me options. I love to have options. So options as far as heating, options as far as lighting, because those of you that have camped know that if something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong when you're camping. And so you might find that your batteries are dead or whatever. Well, in that case, if I don't have lights, I still can use my propane light and light it up in here. And so you have your LED lights that, you know, run off your battery, run off of all that stuff, but you've also got this. I also like it in the early spring and early fall when it's cold, but it's not quite cold enough that I want to use the wood burning stove. I'll turn this little thing on and it'll take the chill right off of it. So a really cool feature. It's an option. If you don't want it, you don't have to have it. That's the beauty with these camps. Get them how you want them because they're going to last a lifetime. So, As I mentioned, you have your inverter. So this is a 3,000 watt pure sine, which is good for any of your electronics. If you're using laptops, anything like that, you're going to want a high quality inverter. We use the Go Power inverter, and we've had super good luck with it. So we've got our monitoring system. This is just going to run through all of our tank levels. It has alarms on it to where you can set alarms for your tanks. You can set alarms, as you can hear, we're getting an alarm that our number 1 tank is low. If we hit our OK button, we're going to get an alarm that our number 2 tank is low. And then it's going to give us a reading for our gray and our blacks, which are both, their alarms are set when they're at a high. So anyways, that kind of tells you where you're at there, and then it goes off. So you can set all sorts of different things on there, but it gives you a good idea of what's going on with all of your tanks and your batteries as well. As we move down, we have all of our switches. So we have our water pump, our water heater. This is cabinet lights. So inside each of these cabinets, there's lights in there that you can turn those on with that switch, be able to see what you're doing in there. Makes it really nice. Even these benches underneath these cushions have lights in them, so they're all lit as well. Then you have this recirculation fan. Now what this is it's kind of a game changer. So as I mentioned in the intro, if we're going to have a true 4-season trailer, we've got to be able to utilize heat sources, multiple heat sources. And so, like in this particular camp, they have a forced air furnace, a 30,000 BTU furnace, and then it has the wood stove in it as well. Most people are going to be using that wood stove in the winter. It's just a completely different kind of heat. It's comfortable. It's mesmerizing to watch. It's just all around better. Well, if we're using that, we could set our thermostat for our furnace. As you can see right now, our furnace is on, but it's not running. And that's because that thermostat is set low enough that it's been satisfied. So if we turned it up, it would probably kick on. But what's going to happen is that wood stove is going to outpace that. And so you're going to be satisfied in here. And so that thermostat or that furnace is no longer going to circulate that heat around. Now that's pretty important, especially when you're trying to heat tanks and everything. Now granted, like I said, we have options. We have electric heat on all of our tanks, so we can turn those on, and there's heat pads on them that will heat those tanks, but that's also depleting batteries. So I kind of use these as kind of a last resort. But if I'm running my furnace or my wood stove in here, I can heat those tanks with that heat. And so by using the wood stove, I can turn that circulation fan on, and it actually kicks the fan to my furnace on. And so even though my furnace isn't running, that motor is, and I'm able to circulate that warm air into those tank enclosures throughout the trailer. And so like this one, you have the bathroom clear in the back and it's closed off. I still want to get some warm air in there when I'm using that wood stove. And so being able to turn that circulation fan on is a big game changer for those cold months. So your pipe heaters, gray, black, and this is for your secondary gray tank. This has 2 holding tanks for your gray in it. So those are all your tank heaters for there. The nice thing about both your black and your gray tank heaters is they're on a built-in thermostat, so they control themselves. Even though these switches are on, if it's not cold enough for those to turn on, they're not going to be on, not drawing power. And so that's nice for conserving power. And then when they do hit that limit, they'll kick on, bring those temperatures up to where they need to be, and then they'll shut themselves off. So that's really nice. The drain pipe, it's not on a thermostat, so when I turn that on, that's on. Really, the only time that I ever use that is right before I dump. I might, if it's cold, I might turn that on, an hour or 2 before I dump. Just make sure if there is anything, in those pipes that's somewhat, it's not going to be froze solid, but just to make it a lot easier for cleaning out. So like I said, water heater. You've got AC outlets throughout. These will all run off of your inverter. So that's one thing that we do different when we wire these camps. A lot of times when you get a trailer that has an inverter in it, it's wired specifically for a specific outlet or a couple outlets. We don't do it that way. We believe in wiring these so that everything works. If the wife wants to use the blow dryer or whatever, or coffee makers, whatever you want to use, I want you to be able to use that if you are off grid doing whatever you want to do. So this one has the 3-person dinette in it. So, which I like because it doesn't create that bottleneck right here in the front. If you were to do a 4-person, you'd have that bench that would come out a little bit farther. Kind of creates a bottleneck here, especially in this kitchen area. And so I like that 3-person dinette. You still can fold it down. You still can sleep people on it. We're getting our alarm again, so I'm just going to turn that off. Your benches, these have storage in them. This one actually feeds through to the outside. So you've got an access door from the outside that they wanted to utilize there. You have your removable cushions. Like I say, this will fold down. You can utilize it as a bed. You have storage under this bench as well. You've got your CO detector, AC outlets. This is your fuse box with your breakers in it. So everything's accessible there. So we move more towards the back. You've got a 48-inch window over your dinette. These are dual pane windows. So we just recently switched to the dual pane windows. And they're kind of, it's just one more. Our products are always improving. There's always ways that we can improve them. And so we always are looking at what products are out there, how we can make them better and just give you a better product. So you have your recliners here. I'm currently waiting on the center console for this one, so that's why you see this little extra space here, is because these will get a center console between them. So I'm just waiting on them. You have your 48-inch window over your recliners. These do have the pull-down shades, and they're locking, so if you push these buttons, they'll go up, and then you can pull them down and lock them where you want them. Engraved little cattle scene. Let me turn that light off so you can see. So we can do engravings with your brand, we can do mountain scene, we can do all sorts of stuff on this. So if there's something specific that you want, let us know. You will notice how this scene's broke up. If I was to do this scene on that whole length, it would look like these cowboys were herding wiener dogs. It would just elongate it so much that it kind of looks retarded. So we've broken that up to where they look good. So then as we move back, we've got a gun safe. Now this one's all AC powered as well as battery powered. So it's got a thumb reader on it. Just really cool setup that way. It's all bolted in, so you don't have to worry about anyone taking it or anything. Overhead storage, as you can see, they wanted to add this fan in here as well. So this is just a circulation fan that will blow air in them on them beds. But it just kind of rotates around, gets a nice little air, little breeze moving. And as I mentioned, our overhead. So all of these all have gas struts on them that will hold them up, and then they soft close so that they will actually hold everything in there as well. You have a twin bed, split twin bed setup. This is becoming really popular among a lot of people. You have drawers underneath it. Now these are adjustable beds. They have massagers in them. Pretty nice setup. These are ones that the customers source themselves, and they'll provide the mattresses as well. Same with the gun safe. This was a gun safe that they sourced, and so was the light. So if there's products that you want us to use and we can use them, we're happy to. You've got a little bookshelf in here, your remotes for your beds. You've got your AC plugs. There's DC plugs. You've got your reading light, and it's got an AC or a DC USB port on it. These are 3-way, so you can set your brightness at whatever you want. And then we have big closets Big hanging closets here. These are all lighted. So lots of room to hang stuff there. And then a big drawer below. These are all dovetail drawers too. So, and as I mentioned, they have the locking slides on them. So they'll actually lock in there, and then on these bigger ones, we'll put the locking latches in there too to keep your stuff from falling out as you're traveling. But all these beds have big drawers underneath them. And then we have the same thing on that side with some overhead storage. This one does have the egress over the bed, so by code we're required to have 2 exits. So you've got an exit there at the front and then one here over the bed. And then this is probably my favorite thing about this camp is this bathroom setup. It's a nice bathroom setup. For those of you that are planning on living in one, yeah, you can't have enough room, I don't think. And so this bathroom is very spacious. This door is 1.5 inches thick, solid alder. Then you have your big vanity with some storage below, some drawers. This one has the tip out. Mirrored medicine cabinet. There's an outlet under there. Your freshwater tanks. So this one has dual freshwater tanks. So you have 2 freshwater tanks in here. You can see all of our plumbing. We don't use any plastic fittings or anything. Everything's all brass ball valves, everything to where you don't have any issues with things that way. So really easy to winterize. They've just got their winterization tube there. They have another big closet. This one has a hanging rack, but then it has some removable shelves as well, to where they can adjust those however they want. Your frosted bathroom window, drawer, and then this one has a 36 by 36 shower. I'm not a big guy, but it sure feels really spacious in this one. So being able, all black hardware, they wanted all black faucets. And then up in this corner, you have your toilet. This is just an access port to plumbing. You've got an exhaust fan. Then continuous hinge that supports the weight of that door. They are heavy. As I mentioned, this one's 15,000 pounds, but you can see just a solid 1.5 inches. So working our way up to the front. This one's got the 32-inch smart TV in it. So this is a 12-volt TV, so it will run perfectly fine off of their batteries. It's got a DVD player, and like I say, it is a smart TV. This is all wired, pre-wired for like Starlink, antenna, all of that stuff. So you've got your AC, your DC plugs, all of your coax hookups. This is a nice little entertainment center. So you've got a bank of drawers, 3 on each side. And then that center's all open where you can put whatever in there. That's all lighted storage as well with the cabinet lights on. And then we get to this bad boy. It's cold tonight, so it's nice to have this as we're doing this little tour to keep me warm in here. But it'll maintain this temperature. It's crazy. The insulation values, so just to give you an idea of what we're working with here, all of these have 6 inches of R19 in the floor and 6 inches of R19 in the ceiling. And then all of our walls are framed up similar to a house with a 1x4 framing. And then you have a 1/2 inch sheet of interior laminate. And then a 3/4 inch foam board, which is an R4. And then another 1/2 inch sheeting. And then Tyvek and your metal. So once you get the camp warm or cold, either way, it maintains that temperature for a long time. They're very efficient We don't have issues with appliances and things that way like you would in your normal RVs. And a lot of that is because they're in an environment where they can succeed. Your fridge doesn't work as hard. Your furnace doesn't work as hard. Your water heater. All of those things are just much more efficient because they're in insulated space that helps them maintain those temperatures that they need. So yeah, having this wood stove, I mean, this is probably more wood in here than what most people would burn. But just for the sake of showing you, I've got it loaded up. So you've got your 3-burner cooktop with range. This has a pretty good size oven in it. All stainless steel. And then tons and tons of counter space on this. This camp was originally laid out, I want to say, in a 28 or 29 foot box. Sent the floor plans to the customer and they said, we love it, let's make it bigger. And so they got a lot more counter space. You can see a huge sink, lots of overhead storage as well. So you've got some big overhead storage cabinets, lots of drawers. And then big open space under here. This has got dual tip outs on it. And then, yeah, massive double stainless steel sink. These are all household fixtures. So anywhere we can, we try to use household stuff, equipment that's going to perform. And so there are certain things that we're limited and we have to use RV products. But for the most part, we try and source the best quality stuff that we can find. So then that just brings us up to the front. So you've got your switches for your interior lights, your porch lights, and then these are all dimmer switches for your outside lights. So as I kind of showed you in the intro, there's outside lights on them. This one, let's see if I can find which one is which. So your interior lights are on dimmers as well. So anyways, I think that you guys are going to enjoy this camp. At least I hope you've enjoyed this tour. This has kind of been a fun one to build. I like to build these one-off ones. They're kind of enjoyable. They're a little more challenging and it keeps things fresh for us. So anyways, if you haven't liked and subscribed, do so because I've got a lot of unique builds coming up. It seems like every build from here on out is pretty unique. So you're going to want to stick around. Who knows, there might be a layout that you absolutely love. So anyways, thanks for watching.